Hello everyone, welcome back to Frag Chat with me, Smelly and her.
Smurfy.
So we're back again and another episode of Frag Chat. Sorry it's been a small while since the last one, but not too long. So here we are talking with some more fragrance subjects to discuss. And what are we up to this weekend? So I'm cat sitting again.
You're cat sitting, so Dan's going to look after Sweetie, who's next to you.
Yes.
On the sofa.
We won't disturb her now.
Oh.
You might have heard that, yeah.
I'm going to Devon. I've got 3 nights booked in a holiday camp type park down in Devon in the, was it southwest?
Yes, of England, yes.
Yeah, southwest of England. It's supposed to be really beautiful.
Fragcomm
In Devon. I'm going on my own. Just going to have a really nice little retreat and enjoy the beautiful surroundings. Hopefully enjoy some great weather. There's a swimming pool on the site and might even film some stuff down there as well.
Brilliant. Okay, and I think the weather might be okay. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Okay, so what was our first subject? Scent of the night?
Scent of the night.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Okay. So my scent of the night, I've got 2 on actually. And I'm wearing, they're from KYSE Perfumes. And my main one is this one, the Coco Vanilla. So coconut and vanilla. And that's what I'm wearing here. And then I've got Delicia de Marshmallow. And that I have on my
That's
wrist.
such a great name. That's such a great name. Yeah.
And they are absolutely gourmand, vanilla-y delights.
Yeah, they're really nice actually. Yeah, I'm really impressed.
You like them, don't you?
Yep.
And they're cheap, they're affordable. So they're from a company in America called KYSE Perfumes. And there's
if you talk, I'll show them the
beautiful vanilla. The perfume is Terry Bozo. She uses real vanilla in her perfumes and they really smell so deep. They're beautiful and sweet and deep. They're not complex, there's no weird things going on. They're just very, very lovely. I got compliments from 3 ladies in the chemist today. In like one visit to the chemist to get my Diarrhea.
We'll come back to that. You'll explain why you need that at the moment. It's not quite as bad a reason as you might think why Claire needs that.
But I went to the chemist, had to buy these stuff, and I got 3 compliments. 3 ladies loved Coco Vanilla.
And they're really, really beautiful gourmands actually. And I've got the marshmallow one on here.
You're loving it, aren't you?
I love it because I kind of have this, I'm known for liking old school, boring, fresh,
citrus,
but I do have this thing that if something smells really sweet and nice, I mean, who can not like that smell?
That's the thing,
it's a nice smell. No one can dislike that smell. And it's a happy smell, isn't it? The smell of a marshmallow. I mean, it just, and no calories involved in smelling it.
Exactly.
So I am impressed with those.
So good.
So, for my new arrival, I'm going to mention PK Perfumes.
That wasn't your arrival.
Huh?
That was Scent of the Night.
Oh, was it? No, it wasn't. PK Perfumes was going to be my new...
Yeah, but these were Scent of the Night.
Oh, those were Scent of the Night.
That's why we got confused.
Oh, okay. So what's your new... Well, those are your new arrival as well? Okay, so this is my Scent of the Night.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Sorry, got it. Okay. So my Scent of the Night is... Now,
I hope you cut that out.
We can't even agree on how to say this. Two-man sport.
Well, if you say 2, then we can agree. If you want to say toos, then we're not going to agree.
I'm not sure... Okay, TOUS man
in French
sport.
Means all or every.
Yeah, as in everything.
Every man.
Yeah. Right, 2-man sport. This has been talked about by Sebastian on Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews and Greg from Greggy Boy 76. A really nice zesty citrus fragrance, which I think has comparisons to Versace Mano Fresh, but Claire has a slightly different view. How would you describe this fragrance?
Let's smell it now.
Do you want a fresh one? Or?
Yeah, do a fresh one.
I'll do it because I know that the opening really produced a reaction from Claire, which wasn't entirely
what you were hoping for.
Complimentary, no. It smells good.
Yeah, I mean, what I said to you earlier was that if it was Adidas Ice Dive, I could totally believe it.
Adidas Ice Dive, yeah, okay.
It smells cheap.
Right, it is an inexpensive fragrance, about £25 for 100ml.
It smells cheaper than that.
Okay.
£12.50 max.
And you thought it was like a shower gel smell?
It smells. It does smell cheap, synthetic,
Right.
aquatic.
Okay.
Definitely reminding me of Adidas Ice Dive that I did have a small
yeah, which
bottle
I
of.
actually quite like. So. Okay, I get what you mean. All right. Well, other reviewers have talked in quite nice ways about that one, but Claire does not seem to
The
approve.
dry down's a bit better. But
Okay.
I mean, if you've got a fragrance collection, why would you bother to have that? I don't get it. Sorry.
Okay, I respect your opinion.
I respect that.
We respectfully, respectfully disagree. But that's my scent of the night. Not a big hit, although not an unpleasant smell, right?
No, it's fine. I mean, if you was 15, going out with your mates to hang out by the shops, it would be perfectly appropriate. Drink cider, get hickeys.
Oh well. Actually sounds like quite a good night out.
Sounds fun, yeah.
But okay, fair enough. I appreciate your honesty, Claire. Moving swiftly on then. That was scent of the night.
Yeah.
What's the next subject?
So we're going to say new arrivals.
Okay.
I've kind of already covered it because these not only are my scent of the night, but they are my new arrivals.
Right. Got it.
Yeah, and we also have another one which is a travel size. It's called I have to check, Bonbons à la Vanille. So this one's very, very much about the vanilla.
Yeah, that was similarly gourmandish, and I really liked that one as well. Actually.
So when we first sprayed that one,
oh, that's nice.
It smelled a little liqueur-like, didn't it?
It
Tiny
had a
bit
booziness.
boozy.
Yeah.
It smelled like a lemon liqueur, but now I feel like that's faded, and now we just have a very, very beautiful vanilla. Very simple. Do you think?
They are quite simple fragrances, yeah, but that is very exquisite, and it reminds me a bit of Eau de Missions by Cologne de Missions.
I feel like this is probably sweeter than that. More one-dimensional in a way, but a very deep vanilla, very nice vanilla.
I like that, and it did have a bit of citrusiness in the beginning, so definitely a house for gourmand lovers to check out. I think
if you
that
love
one.
vanilla, you need to check that house
and
out.
the prices are quite reasonable.
Very, very reasonable. So $23 for one of those 15 mils.
That's
and we
good.
do other sizes as well, so good value.
We've been enjoying those. Okay, so my new arrival, although it did arrive a couple of weeks back, but we've not mentioned it on the channel before, and it's PK Perfumes, Paul Kyler from the United States of America, and one of his big fragrances that won an award recently at the Art and Olfaction Awards, which I'm not doing a very good job of. There's a rather elaborate box, which is very nice. It looks like that. And the fragrance comes in there. And this one is called Madeiras de Orient Oscuro, and is a fantastic smoky fragrance.
It's like a study in smoke. It's like different variations of smoke. Like
it's
smoke from a pipe, smoke from a fire, smoke from the distance. Just like different variations of smoke to me.
It's very
really
rich and very smoky. And that won a rather prestigious award at the Art and Olfaction Awards. The one that they've also sent us some samples from their overall collection, and the one that I'm rather taken with, the samples look something like that, is one called Ere, or E-R-E, which is a wonderful sort of green barbershop fougere type fragrance. Probably not your type of thing.
Not quite, no.
No.
It smells like hay. It smells like moss and hay. Dry.
Yeah, quite dry.
Clean. Yeah, I mean it's not my thing, but it's nice if you like.
It's
that
a
sort of
really beautiful fougere kind of green mossy fragrance. That is well worth checking out if you're into that kind of thing. So that's we're going to feature them, I think, properly in another episode coming soon.
I've got a sample of the Violet Chocolatier one, and that's really good.
You like that one, don't you?
Yeah, so I'll be doing a review of that on my channel as well.
Okay. Next on the agenda then, where is Fragcomm going?
Left, right?
What a question.
South?
Exactly.
Is it going south?
I don't know. Let's find out. It could be. So we wanted to just discuss, we like to try and talk about gossip and stuff, and there were a few things that we almost considered talking about, but we didn't want to sully ourselves.
It wasn't necessary, so
we decided to kind of do a more general subject, but there are always things going on if you're in one of the, or many of the Facebook groups.
If you do Instagram, if you do the Facebook groups, there is little dramas here and there.
Always stuff going on. And stuff, maybe, subplots boiling under the surface that only a few people know about. So what we wanted to just discuss is where is Fragcomm going? It's changed a lot, hasn't it, in since you've been doing it, since I've been doing it. It's things have evolved, and I think the main difference is that there are certainly more and more channels than there used to be.
I think the fragrance reviewer channels are cropping up all over the show. Hundreds and hundreds of new reviewers coming out, and I think that's a good thing. Do you?
Well, it's no problem to me. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing because you've always got the choice. The more choice there is, to me,
the more
better.
the merrier.
Yeah.
But it is hard to start out.
Really hard for the new channels to start out.
Especially, I mean, it doesn't matter if your quality is excellent, the content is amazing.
Yeah.
It is so hard to stand out because it is a very male-dominant area.
Yes, it does seem to be very much a male. The male fragrances are what people want to hear about, and it's normally male reviewers that have the biggest channels.
And it does feel. It feels like the views will come from sexiest scents, panty droppers, best men's this, best men's that.
But I don't think many people actually use the panty dropper term anymore. But
not
totally the top 10 best.
That's the
underlying.
That is the underlying compliments. This is getting compliments. Blah blah blah.
Or top 10s. Summer, winter, whatever.
It does feel very male dominant.
Yeah.
And I think it's difficult to compete with the bigger guys when you're new as well.
It must be very hard for new reviewers to come through and break through that. And but there are many there are many more channels coming up per week or per month than there were when you perhaps started 5 years ago, or maybe about 3 or so years ago. It's really kind of snowballed, hasn't it, the Fragcomm thing. And the other thing, of course, that's happened is, in inverted commas, the professionalisation of the whole thing. That people are not just doing it purely for fun. And I speak from personal experience, but to some extent, whether most of them still have a day job, there's perhaps some money involved.
There is an ambition, I think, with some people that want to just do YouTube and give up their day job. Yeah. And to do that, you do have to kind of sell out, I think.
Compromises have to, things have to change a little bit. The way you think about what video you're going to release next changes massively from if you have a day job and you just talk about what you love. And it's
purely a hobby, I think. Yeah. So if you look at, I hope Sweetie's not being sick in the background. I just heard a noise.
Would you like me to check that?
No, don't worry.
Okay.
She might just be belching.
Okay. Sorry, viewers.
So if you look at some of the smaller reviewers like me, and we tend to just put out a fragrance review of something that we're interested in, even though we know we're only going to get 100 views. But then if you have someone very ambitious, they will only put out a list video or a video by someone who is paying them to put that video out, or at least is giving them free fragrances on a regular basis. So it's a kind of a shame, but it's almost like it's going to happen. Like, how can that not happen?
Very true. Yeah. So exactly as you say, if you don't mind too much how many views you get, or you're not doing it, you don't need any money out of the videos or whatever, then if you've bought a fantastic unheard of fragrance that you'd like to talk about, you'll put that video out. Yeah. But it might only get a couple of hundred views or whatever, because it's not going to, not many people are going to be clicking on that video. Many other reviewers now, though, have become much bigger, and of course some of the smaller companies, the clone companies, even the bigger ones are sending them free fragrances. There are sponsorships involved, so the whole game has changed a little bit, and we're becoming a little bit more like other YouTube genres like beauty and stuff where money is involved.
This has been going on for a long time, and it's
accepted.
Yeah.
There she's all right.
Yeah, it's accepted, but for some reason it seems to be a little bit demonised by some people in fragrance community.
They're slower to accept it in the fragrance community, and many people do complain about it.
And I can see that point when it comes to non-disclosure, and I think that's a massive issue at the moment. There definitely are reviewers that are not disclosing the origins of where they got their bottle from, and they're not disclosing whether they're sponsored or not.
Right.
And I think that breeds a little bit of mistrust, and I think when one particular reviewer is only reviewing more often than not the same house and really bigging them up all the time and not disclosing if they have a collaboration, whether that be just that they received the bottle for free or whether they're getting paid for that review, I think it does generate a little bit of suspicion.
Right.
And you do feel like, well, you know, you're telling us all that this $400 bottle of perfume is amazing, but did you put your money where your mouth was on this occasion?
Right.
You know, and I think that's an issue. I think people need to be honest about it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I can see your point. Well, I don't know. I think I don't know who gets sent free bottles.
No, none of us do.
And a lot of us.
We don't know.
Well, a lot of people do declare that the bottle was sent free for review, but there's very little to stop somebody if they did get sent one for review free. Or even, I'm not referring to any specific reviewer, or even if they got paid some money or whatever, there's very little to stop them not saying that. I don't see how anyone would know what had happened in the background. So clearly YouTube is becoming recognised by fragrance brands as a massive way to sell products, particularly for, let's say, if you're not Creed or whatever, but some of the
smaller
other
houses,
slightly middle level kind of niche houses or whatever. It's a pretty good way because the target audience is very engaged. They're exactly the people who are buying these fragrances because they're hyper interested. That's why they watch YouTube videos on it. So even though the channel might not be massive,
you could still generate
it could be worth quite a lot to give them free bottles. So it is an interesting thing, and it's gone are the days when you had kind of naive videos from Max 40 or Robe 08 where they definitely had bought the fragrances themselves and were just talking, you know, in a very honest, passionate way. Now things have changed a little bit. I'm not saying anyone's dishonest, but it's changed a lot.
I don't think there's any harm in people receiving bottles, whatever, or even getting paid for a video, but you just have to declare it because there's a difference. There is a big difference. And if I see someone raving about a perfume and I know that they paid for that themselves, then I know they genuinely, from the heart, really, really love that perfume. But if they're just saying, "Oh, it's really good," but it is $500, and you know, and they didn't actually pay for it, then their review isn't quite as
doesn't carry
as
quite
strong.
the same weight.
Of course, we all make our decisions based. You know, everyone should test everything themselves. Don't blind buy, but sometimes there are occasions when testing's not that accessible because you have to get it shipped from so far away that the sample's going to cost you 20-30 quid. So sometimes it's easier just to buy the bottle and take a chance. Yeah, well, and many people are I think many people who watch fragrance reviews are very impulsive and are in the habit of buying things excitedly on the back of a good review. So the reviews can be hugely influential. So there's a lot of responsibility on the reviewers. On the other hand, I would say that reviewers now are, you know, there are many more channels that put out 4, 5, 6 videos a week. They're putting a lot of time in for editing, all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, is it fair? Understandably, they're trying to get some income back from that. If you have a fragrance review channel that's got 20, 40, 80, 100,000 viewers, and I think it's fair enough to get paid or to get free bottles, but just declare it. Just mention it at the beginning of the video, put it in the comment, That's all you've got to do.
Well, I think a lot of them do say when they get the free bottles, but yeah, it is
I
definitely.
don't think it's going on all the time though.
What you think? Some you don't think they're always declaring.
No,
They're not telling you everything.
There's a lot of videos I've watched lately where I don't know.
True.
And they're
No,
not
I do
not
agree.
declaring it.
No.
And I'm not saying. I mean, even myself, I go back to some of my videos and I can see. Oh, I forgot to mention where I got that from. Whether I bought it myself or whether I had it given.
Yeah.
You do forget sometimes, and I think that's fine. You know, like, but I think it's down to the audience as well to ask the question.
Right. Yep. No, I do. Yeah. No, I'm sure. Yeah, there are some videos where you kind of feel maybe they got sent that all free, and
particularly if there's one brand that's constantly being hyped up.
Right. Yeah.
You can't help it but be suspicious. You know?
Interesting. Me personally, but on the Mr. Smelly channel, these are not the views of Mr. Smelly Fragrance reviews here, and I'm totally not casting aspersions on any particular reviewer whatsoever. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. What do you think, viewers? The main thing is we'd like to have your comments on the down there below in our nether regions about what you think about this. It is a controversial subject. I want to make my videos as good quality as possible. So do you.
Do you want to be honest to your audience and always disclose?
Well, yes.
Where your fragrance is from?
I think if I get free fragrances, I do.
Do you normally say?
I think so, but like you, I bet I've forgotten occasionally.
Yeah, there will always be times, and I think just if you're as a viewer, I just think just ask. You know, I would be more than happy if someone says to me, "Oh, great that you really love that, Claire. I'm just curious, did you buy it yourself or did you get it sent to you?" And I would be more than happy to be honest about that, and I think everyone should be. That's let's be honest in this. It's in our little close-knit community. Let's all be honest with each other.
But I find it's difficult because most stuff that I get sent will smell good, and I know some reviewers are much more picky. But you do need to know that they got it free. No, you're right.
No, there is a difference between saying it smells good or I really love this, it's amazing, blah de blah, you know.
It is a good point, yeah. It's a very contentious matter. So I like the... Well, I find it a very interesting debate, actually.
And now we're at 22 minutes and we've not even smelt Modernist
yet. The purpose of the main purpose of the video is to talk about niche and undiscovered fragrances. So let's discuss those next. Now, this is a house that Claire has bought with her own money.
Paid for the samples.
It was not sent free, and we're very proud of that.
And I was going to look them up when and I didn't.
Okay.
So we know nothing about this
house. We'll try a little bit, but I'll talk. The house is called Modernist Fragrance, and we have some samples.
They're based in the UK.
They're based in the UK. We've been really impressed actually, and I think it was 100% Claire that found the house, and we've got 3 fragrances by them. So we have one that is simply called The Modernist, another one which is called Geist, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, and another one which is called Nihilism, which sounds very alarming.
Sounds kind of political or I don't know.
Okay, so the first one that we're going to deal with is The Modernist, and perhaps Claire can tell us a little bit more about that one.
Yep, I've got that on my phone. So it says, let the modernist beguile you as a striking combination of floral and fruit calls out through a cloak of citrus. Bergamot opens, leads the way to a heart of freesia, and its sharp sweetness softening cleanly on the skin, cradled by the warmth of frankincense. This dominant, distinguished base in its complexity is enriched with labdanum, timber, and even fruit, creating an autograph for the wearer.
Right, sounds good, doesn't it? Okay, we have the custom tester strips here.
Yeah, so we made these ourselves. This was sprayed quite a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, these are about a couple of hours ago, and I think this was the one you said I would really like the most.
Yeah, this is the one I expected you to like the best.
You were kind of right.
Kind of a fruity green, fresh, citrusy.
Yes.
Old school feel.
It's got an old school vibe about it, and it's very, very green. Definitely very green. There's citrus elements, but it's not overly dominantly citrus. It definitely has a very strong woody undertone.
Yeah. It just mentions fruits. It doesn't really specify what, but to me it feels like there's a bit red fruit going on in there.
but it smells like it could be a classic fragrance of the 80s or something
Feels like a
that.
man's fragrance.
Yeah, very much.
I said to you it could even be an Acqua di Parma kind of fragrance.
Yeah, maybe from the brown bottle line.
Yeah,
the sort of more upscale ones.
Bottle,
Yeah.
I really like this one, and I would wear it myself, but I feel like it does lean a bit masculine.
Maybe. But I'm surprised, therefore, that you like it.
Yeah.
Because you sometimes don't like, when I like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
you're a bit nonplussed sometimes.
No, but I quite like this. To me, it's citrusy, it's fruity. Yes, it does have a bit of an old school vibe, but it's kind of classy.
Yeah, not overly old school. There's a really nice accord in there. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's frankincense. I'm just looking at the note listing. But
timber.
there's a timber. That's
Timber!
fun, isn't it?
I'm going down. I'm yelling timber.
Viewers, sorry. It's got a really nice woody undertone that I really like. That I've smelled in a few other fragrances. It's high class stuff. I really like that actually.
I think this is. I can imagine. I don't know, like Hugh Laurie smelling like this.
Right. Okay.
Someone kind of slightly quirky but masculine and sophisticated at the same time. A bit someone a bit posh, you know?
Yeah, it smells posh.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of putting it. Very, very nice smell. Yeah, beautiful, modernist, and the name, quite like the name actually. A bit retro, but not overly so. But really, really classy.
Yeah.
Definitely worth trying.
And that one is £100 for 50ml.
Okay, reasonable. Okay, next up then.
Let me find it. Which one are we going for?
Up to you.
I need to go for the next up in price.
Okay.
They're all different prices.
Okay.
So the next one's Geist, which is £125 for 50ml.
This one's slightly more expensive.
Yes.
Yes. Geist. Okay. So Geist is.
Do you want me to read it out?
Looking something like that in the sample. If you can read the blurb.
Yep. A complex citrus accord interplayed through a floral heart and settling on a base of amber and musk. Wherever the day and night takes you, Geist is a fascinating construction for me. I spent a lot of time mixing and remixing the head notes, trying to find the citrus pitch I wanted. Mandarin, lemon, sweet and bitter orange form a core that gently combine with a heart of honeysuckle, one of my favourite florals, and a base of amber and various musks.
You said the other one would be my favourite, but this is very close to being my favourite. It's a really beautiful citrus, woody scent. I love that.
Yeah, to me it smells like there's a hint of sea air or driftwood or something like ambergris or something. Without it being overdone and aquatic, which is to me a derogatory term, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure.
But there is just that hint of it, like a hint of sea salt, air.
But it has a really nice, I mean, orange is the colour they've given us on the little card there, and it has that orangey, really fresh orange citrus kind of note in there. And
like a salty wood.
And a kind of sweet muskiness, would you say, underneath that?
This one seems to be very popular because I discovered this brand on Instagram. And there were a few Instagram people who I follow and really respect that were singing its praises, and they bought 4 bottles of Geist. A couple of people shared the fact that they bought bottles of this, and I can see that, and I think it's really classy. I think if you like Aventus and that genre of fragrance, I think you'll like that because it is kind of in that ballpark with that beautiful ambergris dry down that Creed do. As much as I hate to say it,
doesn't smell like Aventus though.
No, but
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Aspects of a Creed fragrance to me.
It's got that
ambergris,
total.
I think.
Yeah, and is ambergris listed as
no.
it? Oh, right.
Not here.
But it has that very mass appealing yet high quality kind of note about it that could be a signature scent.
It's not ambroxan, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't smell clumsy like ambroxan does.
I agree.
It's like Creed do musks and ambergris.
And I'm getting a reminiscence of some of my favourite Acqua di Parmas on that.
Yeah,
which
so
is
it feels like if you like Acqua di Parma and you like Creed, You can't go wrong with this if you want something slightly different
Well worth exploring,
and
isn't
less obvious. You don't want to be the one that goes, "No, I'm wearing Creed."
it? Or nowadays, you have to really try hard to be unusual because everyone knows about niche fragrances. So that is really, really beautiful, and I it's neck and neck between that and the Modernist.
Yeah,
for me.
I would say Geist is your sexy alternative. That's your sexy choice.
It's probably a more mass appealing scent.
Modernist is more great for the office, great to be professional a little bit, maybe held back. Geist is more sexy and maybe going to get you a little bit more attention.
Probably a safer bet, yeah. More mass appealing. Both brilliant. Okay, and the last one is called
Nihilism.
Nihilism.
And this is the most expensive one. So this one's £150 for the 50ml. And this is both of our least favourite, isn't it?
At the moment,
To put it bluntly.
Yes, we find this to be very floral.
It's better now, I have to say. It's much nicer now. When you first spray it, it does feel a little old-fashioned. It's a rose fragrance without a shadow of a doubt. And it's still very, very rose dominant, even 2 hours after spraying it.
I mean, if you like the note of rose, it's like walking in a flowery garden and smelling a flower.
Yeah, like being inundated with roses.
Literally, which is a good thing, in a way. My thingy here says the majesty of rose, verdant aldehydes and animalic whispers. For confident women and adventurous boys.
Which one are you?
Well, I know my gender, but
Okay.
as for adventures,
let's
I don't
not
know.
even get into
No,
genders
let's move
today.
on. Yeah. quickly.
There's a bit more on here. Nihilism gets such a great and varied reaction across the spectrum. I'd intended it to be a bold riff on Rose, exercising some childhood trips to the cemetery with a growling animalic undertow.
Right, the cemetery. I mean, you know.
The top notes of lime, bergamot and grapefruit are actually quite strong, but Rose undeniably packs the punch. I wanted to start the animalic trail with jasmine as well as cashmeran. I had a lot of fun using toniquitone in the base. Cleaned up with some vanilla and benzoin. It's a bold composition and a real confidence booster.
Well, it is actually a really nice smell, and it's very, very floral and very much like smelling flowers.
Yeah, it's extremely rosy. With some greenery, like you say, like smelling the whole rose plant, really, like the fawns and the...
It's very literally like smelling a flower.
Yeah.
So therefore, perhaps not exactly what I'm looking for in a
No.
fragrance.
It smells quite natural.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Very
yeah, it's very good.
garden-like.
Yeah.
Rose garden.
Yeah. So worth checking out if you really love
If you're a
florals.
rose lover,
Yeah.
totally. And the aldehydes to me never... Can we respray and see if the aldehydes are present? Because I've not noticed them yet.
Right. Let's do that then.
Let's...
Oh yeah, it is a bit more fizzy off the top. I'll say that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's kind of sherbet-like.
Mmm.
Sharp and sherbet-like.
But very the
still
floral
rosy
comes. It
immediately.
doesn't take long before that floral thing
Yeah.
comes through. Very nice and interesting if you like floral notes, but perhaps for me it's not exactly what I want in a fragrance.
Starts off very clean, maybe like smelling sherbet and champagne at the same time with roses all around you.
That's a good description, yeah. Sherbet and champagne. With yeah, at some kind of wedding reception with a huge amount of flowers.
Almost intoxicating.
It's a happy
blend
smell. I
of
mean,
rose.
that is a happy smell.
Yeah.
It's a nice smell.
I think if you're a rose fan, you
Yeah.
should probably try it.
I agree, yeah.
I like rose. Maybe this is not quite how I like my rose, but still, it's a really good fragrance.
I think this house are really... I'd not literally only heard of them today, so I'm very interested. I don't know much about the packaging or anything about the history of the house, but I think these smell really good, and
they smell thought out. They don't smell like they've been churned out very quickly.
No.
They feel like there's time has gone into them, quality and time.
I think so. And how did you discover them? What made you
it was just
want to buy
it was
them?
Instagram.
Ah,
So, as I say, a couple of people on Instagram got samples and were talking about them, and then they bought 4 bottles. So I was like, let's check these out.
Okay.
I think it might have been Susie's niche.
I know the
Niche
name on
Perfumes.
Instagram.
Susie's I think it was Susie. So I think she mentioned them. She's one of my favourite Instagrammers, by the way.
Okay.
Or one of a few, but yeah.
Yeah, do follow Claire on Instagram it's at Smurfygurly. It's just Smurfygurly, isn't it? And you might even like to follow me at
Don't bother us. It's crap.
Okay, moving swiftly on then. Mine's at Mr. Smelly 1977 if you're interested. Brilliant to check out those and let us know in the comments what you thought about these controversial subjects that we discussed. It was great to see you.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, and whatever you're doing in life,
Let's project.